Welcome to the first real windy day here in Lüderitz, and today we're heading off to the training spot Diaz Point. Last night when we arrived, we took care to build a rack inside the car so that we have everything organized, and I think it turned out pretty good. So now, especially with two people, we can just grab the boards, grab the sails we need. And yeah, we're heading off to the training spot now, and I'm going to show you the spot because it looks pretty amazing and it's a really, really fun speed spot.
I think we go to Diaz Point today, so the first session after we arrive. I think the wind will be quite strong, so I hope we can test several sails. We have some 5.6, we have some 5.2s that we would like to try, so yeah, and practice for the upcoming week. So it looks like gonna have 2 days, maybe 1 day in the channel, so that's would be great if there is enough water.
Diaz Point. It's all dirt road to Diaz Point. So from town to the channel, I would say it's about 10 minutes driving over the dirt road. Diaz Point is a bit further away. Maybe it's like 20 minutes, 25, something like this. But the wind is much stronger usually there. So it's a perfect spot to get used to the stronger winds and yeah, just train for the strong days that are coming on the channel. Now we're passing the channel. I'm just going to give you a quick sneak peek because we're not stopping, we're going straight to Diaz. But I'm going to show you tomorrow the whole channel, but just a little sneak peek because they're still working on it. You can see here the finish area. And yeah, a bunch of people there. The pump is running, so they're pumping water now. Maybe it's halfway there. And yeah, 2 pumps over there you can see. One, the other one is all the way in the finish. And I have to say the channel is looking, I think, pretty good this year. What do you think? How's the channel looking?
Yeah, I think it looks quite good. It needs to be filled up with water, but it looks quite straight and also the good edges, and yeah, never seen it before like this. So let's hope we have a good direction and then everything comes together.
So we're doing kind of the unsafe thing and not going to the regular spot, but trying to drive straight onto the beach. Let's hope it's not too soft and we don't get stuck. But we have a good driver now.
It's already windy, yeah? Just 11, but it looks really nice.
So this day I was rigging a 5.2 and it's actually a sail from last year because the new ones were all sold out when I joined the Patrick team. And this is also the first time that I'm actually on a Patrick board, a speedboard. This is a 44 Proto speedboard. And yeah, it's just all new gear for me, so I just wanted to take the chance of the windy days here in Diaz Point to get used to the gear before heading onto the channel for the first days over there. And yeah, this spot is just insanely beautiful. You can see dolphins playing around in the bay, and it's just so super flat water when it's good, and yeah, just overall a really, really enjoyable spot to ride. And sailing back upwind, you actually have to walk up a little bit the beach, and then you can sail like 2/3 of the way. If you start straight away from the end of your run, you actually end out at sea, and I don't know, with there being sharks and everything everywhere, and just no one there who can rescue you, you really don't want to be sailing out too much. So I always took care to walk back up the beach a little bit so I could get to the starting point again. And yeah, the first speeds were not super high, and I actually had to get used to the speeds also again, because it's been a while since I've done really fast speeds. So I started with like 39, 40 knot runs. And stopping at this spot is actually also quite tricky, because the spot just gets more and more downwind as you go. So you really have to push the rail in and go almost into a laydown drive and then come back, so you get enough distance from the beach before you head back to the beach. Now this is the third run, and basically in the beginning every run was a little bit faster. The wind kept improving, and I kept getting into the feeling of the speed rhythm again, and remembering how to do it basically. So yeah, every run you can basically see I gain a little bit of extra speed. So now I'm at around 40 with 41.5 peak speed. Next run number 4. And yeah, you can see we're only with the Patrick team here, because the event only starts in a couple of days. So that was a really nice session because it was so empty. This run was actually a little bit slower, but yeah, sometimes you have the gust and sometimes you don't. Now you can see the back view, which is also, I think, pretty cool, because you can really see kind of the speed and how the board lies in the water in this shot. And the 5th run was quite good actually. I think I had like a 42 run or 41.5, something like this. And yeah, here you can see pretty well how to stop at this spot. So you have to lay down the sail a bit or go a bit into a drive and then come back to the beach to not crash into it. And yeah, the wind luckily just kept increasing. At the beginning I would say it was like 25 to 30 knots, and towards the end of the session it actually got up there to over 50 knots, I would say. So this spot gets insanely windy, and even when you have like only 20 knots on the channel, usually here you can sail on small gear because you have at least 10 knots more. Of course I needed to play with the settings also a bit with all new gear, so what I did here is loosen the boom a little bit and use the upper clue, because I felt I needed a little bit more power. And yeah, this immediately helped and the sail felt more stable. So yeah, you really want to be playing around with the settings to find out what works for you and in what conditions what settings work for you. And what's also a little bit different to the channel, obviously here we go with the left foot in front. So the channel is obviously right foot in front. So we have to use different asymmetric fins, and some people actually have really a strong side and a weak side when it comes to speed surfing. But for me, I don't really feel it. I think I'm pretty good on both tacks, or like I'm equal on both tacks. I don't really have a strong side, so I can go fast on port tack or starboard tack, which is nice, because then yeah, I can train pretty good on this side. And yeah, just going to Diaz Point to train in the stronger winds I think makes a lot of sense, instead of training on the channel in like 20 knot days, because the records we really do when it's super windy. So going to Diaz as often as possible and just training in this strong wind, I think gives you a good feeling for how the strong wind days on the channel will feel like. And you can see it's getting windier by the run, so here you can really see a lot of wind, and it's just so broad downwind at the end of the run that you really have to take care not to oversheet your sail. But now I'm reaching like 45, 46 knots top speed, so it's obviously getting faster and faster as the day goes on. And by this point I also noticed that I was actually coming close to my Open Ocean personal best, which was at 44.63 knots, and I'm already at over 44 knots average speed now. So I really pushed that day to get this record. And in the end I did manage to actually get a new personal best on Open Ocean, which is pretty cool on the first day here. I got 44.88 knots, so an improvement by 0.2 knots, and a top speed of 48.5 knots on 2 seconds. And actually a peak of over 90 kilometers an hour, which is the first time for me on Open Ocean. So it was a really, really cool day. Unfortunately, the camera stopped after this run when I did the fastest runs, but yeah, that's always how it is now. But yeah, this was just insane speeds for me, and this on the first day, just trying out the new board, trying out the new settings. And I have to say, the board, it really gave so much control, especially downwind. I felt this board was super, super steady. I had no problem going over the chop. But yeah, on the stronger winds, in the end of the day, I actually filmed a little bit the rest of the team. So here you can see Vincent, who did that day over 50 knots top speed and the fastest session of the year. And he was training also on new sails, and I think he was on a 5.6, so even a lot bigger than me. There is Christian, and he's also on a 5.6, and yeah, you can just see now how insanely windy it's getting. The sand is just flying, and yeah, the spot is just so great. But here you can see the stopping is actually quite tricky. Another run by Vincent, and I think this is also one where he peaked over 50, not quite sure. But here in the slow-mo, you can really see how the board is rolling over the chop. And yeah, then you can see Heidi. And just the gust keep hitting full speed, so you really have to stay locked in your stance and yeah, not oversheet, not open the sail too much, not come up with your body. Overall, just an insane day for windsurfing. We all did actually our personal best, aside from Vincent, but that's because his is already so high. So Heidi did her personal best, Christian did his personal best, I did my personal best. Great first day in Lüderitz for training the speed, and the channel days are coming up, guys. So stay tuned to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one.